Defense of Donald Trump's inauguration speech here. Now, I know it was on Friday and we already covered it live. In fact, we covered it live for 12 hours, the whole inauguration day. But I got a little annoyed at the mainstream media coverage of it, so I want to do this. So, don't get me wrong, it's not like I like the speech. If you saw our live coverage, you know that I thought it was fairly miserable, terrible, and boring, and totally out of Trump's character, and we accurately predicted that it was in fact Steve Bannon who wrote the speech. Apparently Stephen Miller also chipped in. Now the White House acknowledges that. Okay, so where's my defense? And I'll get back to why it was terrible in a second, and the crazy things he did today. But my defense of it is that the mainstream media immediately was talking about how he's still in campaign mode, and he's still attacking the media and Washington. Yeah, that's what he ran on. That's not campaign mode. That's just, if he was being honest, which on the campaign he really wasn't, obviously, because he wound up appointing a cabinet that's filled with insiders. But if he was being honest, of course he should continue to do that. I think that what they were hurt by is they expect him and all candidates to lie during the campaign and say, oh yeah, I'm running against Washington, I'm running against the media, yeah. But that when they get into office, they're supposed to drop that act, right? And straighten up and say how great Washington is and how he's looking forward to working with everybody in Washington and all the politicians, and stop making his case for his own party and his own administration. Which, by the way, is exactly what they said to Obama, and he went along with it. I think Obama was wrong. I think you should make your case throughout your entire term. You should never let up. You should, if you're a progressive, you should fight for progressive causes, ideology, policy. If you're a conservative, of course you should fight for conservative ideas and policies. So this weird yelling at the president when he's won based on those things that he said in his inauguration speech, now you're supposed to just drop it and say, oh, okay, now I love the media, now I love the politicians. It was weird how personally hurt they felt. Chuck Todd, Chris Matthews said something about Hitler. I was like, wait. Trump's done a lot of crazy stuff. And if you wanted to make references to fascism in other regards, maybe we're having a conversation. In regards to that speech, what are you talking about? And then Tom Brokaw, he's like, oh, this seemed like a personal insult to all the other past presidents. But hey, man, he said the country was a mess. I don't agree with him. I think he's a jackass, okay? But be upfront about it. And so if he says the country was a mess and how he's going to rescue it, well, I guess that's an insult to Obama. Then his entire campaign was an insult to Obama and Bush. Of course it was. He said Bush got us into a mess in Iraq. He made fun of Jeb Bush for supporting his brother. Like, I guess the media assumes that everyone who runs for office is a liar. But they don't tell you that. When they're running for office, the media doesn't tell you that. The media goes along with all the lies. Oh, yes, of course, Washington, talk of Washington being corrupt. Of course, yes, we understand that. Then when you get into office, they expect you to drop the act and do right. Remember, media's awesome. The rest of the politicians are awesome. Someone else, one of the other pundits said, this seems like an insult to all the other Republicans because he continues to criticize politicians. Wait till you get a load of me. Okay, so if we get real progressives in office, will we continue to criticize Washington and corruption and politicians and the mainstream media? Of course we will, because we weren't. Now, if you want to know what I thought of the speech outside of this nonsense criticism by the mainstream media, as I said on day of, so dry, right? And he's not good at reading from a teleprompter. Don't make him do it. Look, the reason people voted for him is part of the reason is that they found him entertaining. So, we're not winning anymore. We got to be winning. With me, we're going to win so much it's going to make your head spin. Yeah, he sounds like an idiot when he says that, but people like that. They're amused by it. They like that kind of talk. When you make him read off a prompter from a speech that someone else wrote, and like I said, they've already acknowledged now that somebody else wrote it, it makes him look like a stiff. It makes him look like a fake, a phony. And so I don't mind that at all. Of course, the picture itself, it was taken from a vantage point where more than 50% of the picture was the VIP section. So it didn't stretch back to the part where the crowd wasn't there. It's so obvious. That's so embarrassing. Anyway, look, Obama had a great case to make from time to time, and he refused to make it. Trump has a terrible case to make. He makes it anyway. That part I actually respect. When Spicer comes out and flat out lies, though, in a comical way and says, so it's the biggest crowd ever at an inauguration, period. Yeah, we know Trump made you say that, man. That's so sad. Obviously, the numbers are in, and it's not remotely true. It's way lower than not just Obama's. Of course, Obama's first inauguration was 1.8 million people, a historic moment, but also lower than George W. Bush's and everyone else's pretty much in recent history. So, nothing wrong with criticizing Trump. We do it all the time. I just did it 3-4 times in this video. Just get it right and criticize him for the right reasons. If you disagree with his policies, say it, right? If he's lying, say it. But when you go out there and you feel hurt, your feelings are hurt because he attacked the media and your